Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Okay, my name is Dr. Bagley. So, this is going to be the first show that we're going to be doing. And today we're going to really get into the psychology way of understanding how we're going to look at relationships. Okay, so I'm going to be looking off every now and then to look at my screen and everything. Okay, all right, so let's get some definition going on here. Okay. I'm a psychiatrist, which is a MD, which is a doctor. Okay, as a psychiatrist, um, there's some truths to the brain that I focus on. So we're all about studying the brain itself and understanding the brain itself. It is scientifically backed. Now, what is not that in this context, I should say, what I decided not to do is stay in a hospital or in a clinical laboratory to find different medicines and so on. That honestly is really not going to help anyone anyway. So I decided to counsel, and in counseling, I come to a conclusion that my opinion in this context is all about the philosophy. Ooh, let me get that sun out your eyes. The philosophy, the psychology, and the social studies. All those are opinions that we have to extract out of the person when we do our counseling. But as a psychiatrist, I know some facts that I'm going to help you today understand how he thinks. All right, one of the things we need to understand when it comes to our brains are million years old. Okay, million years old. And in being this way, we know that there's three components to the brain. There is a nucleus that's called, not nucleus, but there's a small little brain that is inside the middle of our brain, middle and back, that is the reptilian brain. This reptilian brain tells me I want to run from you, I want to fight you, or I want to mate with you. Okay. If I want to run from you, fight with you, or mate with you, that next level of brain is hormonal. Running, there's a hormone that's specific that gives my body the ability to run. If I want to fight with you, same thing, there's a hormone that tells my body I need to fight. And then if there's a mating position, then of course there's an ability to tell my body I need to mate with you. And in this process, okay, I think I should put something over that, then realize it was coming. But in this process, we then can take that and look at that in the context, there we go, in the context of how a body should work. Now, that story comes in, and that story comes in when we talk about philosophy, when we talk about psychology, which is counseling or more or less, and then the social side of a man. That is an opinion, and I want to put that aside for today and focus on the clinical, the running from you, the fighting you, and then mating with you, and how that wraps around so we can look at it in our relationships. Okay. Now, in this, I'll give you an example of the two types of examples with two different types of women with one kind of man, because all men have this ability. And quite honestly, it doesn't matter what culture he is in, because culture is social studies and philosophy. Okay, so all men has this, and if you listen, the two different types of women, and then we'll look at two different types of women in the biblical sense to prove my point that this is thousands and thousands and million years old and how a man thinks. All right, here's the first story. A man, since this is Sunday, a man is watching football. A woman comes to him and says, "Hey, let's go to church." Typical Christian or family, right? Man doesn't want to go to church. He wants to sit home and watch football. They're arguing. They're arguing. Okay, why are they arguing? Why is he watching football? Let me help you explain what the cause and effect of what you're doing in this process, ladies. First thing is, why is the man watching football? He's watching football because he wants to fight. He had a bad day at work. He could have and wanted to hit somebody at work, fight somebody at work, but he couldn't fight somebody at work. So he decides to sit in front of a football game, put his mind as a player, and use that as an expression to release stress by fighting through the football. If you, my lady, come and argue with him about get out of the football, go to church, you're bringing out another type of hormone in his little brain, and that is run from you. So now in that scenario, you have this man thinking, I want to express myself in fighting. You're arguing with me, so of course I'm going to fight with you because that hormone is already there. Then you're telling me the story, you're telling me I need to do something, I want you to leave me alone. So he wants to run from you as well as fight. Okay. That's what goes on in a lot of relationships. And that is what happens on a Sunday when football season hits. Let me help you understand a couple of things, lady, and give you another opinion about this situation or this analogy. He's watching football. We know this is an expression of his anger throughout the week, okay? You wait until the fourth quarter of the football game, and especially if it's just him. You bring him a sandwich and you're in lingerie. Yeah, lingerie. He is hormonally in a fight mode, and now you put him in a hormonal role of mating. So you put the two strongest hormones through his body. When the football game ends, if he will allow it to end because he's going to be attracted to you, you now put him in a hormonal, so he's going to express his anger, his fighting, and sex onto you, ladies. And afterwards, he eat the sandwich. Now, what does this do? This tells him a story. If you do it over and repeating over and over, what do? You repeat his storyline. So when he's at work, and he gets upset at this person or persons, and then there's another woman who's trying to entice him, yes, he's going to feel that hormone towards her. But let's think about it. Hormone towards her, fighting, and hormone towards you in a good way. Just hormones or fighting and hormone towards you. Expression of fighting, expression of sex, hormonal, releasing. That's what we're talking about. Releasing that stresses, anxieties, and so on. He's going to more likely be with you. The first lady, if he thinking run from her, when he's at work, he's looking at work, fighting hormone, sex enticement at work, which 80% of people cheat at work with coworkers. Sex goes on, sex hormone, and he's thinking of you, run from you. That's how a man could possibly cheat. I'm not saying he will cheat, I'm just saying possibly cheat on his woman or disregard his woman. We have other factors like philosophy and psychology and social studies that we can imply it of his character, okay? But this two examples with these two types of women and this one man, you'll see very clearly how that is possible for him to not be with one woman and be with another woman long term. Okay? Let's look into a different type of scenario. Let's look into, and let's go here into the screen here. Let's look into now an example. We're talking about Proverbs 31. Okay? This is over 2,000-year-old story. And then we're looking in Titus 2. And this is over. This over here. And this is over. Don't mean to do that. I would just put that there. I'm sorry, guys. Let me put this here one more time. Boom, there. And this is over plus or minus 2,000 years old. The first one is Proverbs 31. The first thing I want you guys to see, this is the words of King Lumion. So this is the king who's talking. And it's the prophecy, meaning it's the one who's been giving him the word. The person who's giving him the word was the mother. And so the mother gave him the word. The first thing I want you ladies to truly, truly, truly understand is that when it comes to a man, his primal self of a man is, I want to run from it, I want to fight with it, or I want to mate with it. There is nothing written in our psyche, if you will, that gives us the instructions to tell us what's a good woman or not. When we look at a woman, the extent of our understanding through the hormones of us is we want to mate with it. Past that, we have no clue in what constitutes a good or a bad woman for us. Hence, the mother in the story, or I should say in that, the story tells us that the mother instructed the man, which is so happened to be a king, which is his profession, what a virtuous woman is. And if you find this type of virtuous woman, then she is above rubies, meaning she's very, very valuable. For the sake of time, let's just really go through it. There's other scriptures you guys can get into. All right, her heart safely trusts in her. That's a big point. And we'll talk more about that in a second. He has no need of spoil, because if you don't have trust, he's going to look outside of you. That's just what it is. He's primal. You have to treat it in such a way. She rises up in the middle of the night. She gives meat to her maidens. So this is a type of character of a woman who doesn't think it's about her. She's not looking at it in a selfish point of view. It's all about her. He considers the fields to buy it. She considers the fields and buy it. She's an entrepreneur. She doesn't need a man when it comes to finances. She's supposed to do it herself. She can do it herself. She's done it herself. She goes to the gym and take care of her body. Her loins is her body and her arms. Okay, ladies, we know you have a thing about the arms. She stretches her hand out to the poor and to the needy. That's, again, this is a type of woman. Make it herself covering a tapestry, meaning clothing. Her cloth is silk and purple. Silk and purple, right? Silk is the type. Purple is a representation of power. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is kindness. Can we even find a kind woman in today's time? And she looks well to her household and eat not the bread of idleness. Bread of idleness simply means she doesn't listen to her friends' gossip and hating on her because she has a king for a husband. So this is one type of woman. Now, keep in mind, ladies, this is another woman teaching her son, which is quite honestly no different than a daddy teaching a daughter about another type of man. We'll get into that another day, but just keep in mind, this is another woman, mother, talking to her son. Okay? So this is one type. Let's go into another type. This type here is the aged woman. See, this is the aged woman. Be of behavior, become holiness, false accuser, meaning don't lie. Drink much wine, because if you're married to a common person, not a king, but a common person, you're going to drink wine because a marriage is hard. And teachers of good things. Okay, what is she teaching? She may teach the young woman to be sober. Why? Because they're in a relationship and they're alcoholics. Why? Because to teach to love their husbands and to love their children. These type of women don't even love their husbands, let alone the children that she got by the man, because she was, discreet, meaning private. Are you private? Chaste, just meaning, are you showing off your cleavage? Are you showing off your body? Keepers of good home. Is your house nice? I can't tell you on social media how many times I see a person and behind them in the video is a mess, and they thinking they're looking good. How can you look good with a mess behind you? Keepers of good home. Can we just get a good woman? This is what we're referring to. Obedient to your husband. That we already know is a problem in a lot of women's minds because they think obedience is a problem versus another woman who is more obedient because, again, she buys her own. She's an entrepreneur. She doesn't need her man. This woman is looking for the man to take care of her. So we have two different types of women. And this is biblical. This is like over 2,000 years old, biblical. In the same context, have the same type of women then, have the same type of woman now. And here's the question that I want to give you guys. The question is, the woman is the guide to the story of his mind from the mother to the wife, right? The mother to the wife. So what the mother's teaching the man, ladies, whatever the mother's teaching the man is what he's going to give you, which is quite honestly no different than the man taking the woman, his daughter, down the aisle to another man. Is a symbolistic position of she's my responsibility. I'm now releasing her to you, the man. So this is a mother to a wife position, and understand that to be a helpmate unto a man is for a woman that is independent, not needing a man. A man who has a woman that doesn't need a man is a good woman for starters. The question now is, what can you give your husband or man that a prostitute, because we're talking about sexuality, a maid, we're talking about cleaning the house, or a restaurant, which we're talking about cooking, which some guys cook better than women, can provide? What, as you ladies, what can you give a man, your man or a husband, that a prostitute, a maid, or a restaurant can't provide? Let me help you with that answer. You can give him safely trust in you. I'll give you an example. A man may say to you, I like the way you look. And then he goes off to work. And then later he finds in social media that you're cleaning the house, you're doing whatever braless, or you're doing something showing off your cleavage, or you're doing something. How can he safely trust you when a whole bunch of guys is still lusting after you? And that's just an example, the one type of example. A man needs to feel safe, meaning when he goes off to battle called work, when he goes off to school, when he goes out, if he's keeping away from those ladies who are trying to entice him, running away from them, and he wants to be with you only, and you destroy that trust, he may or may not tell you, but I guarantee you one thing: if he has it, he ain't going nowhere. And if he doesn't have it, okay. I want to talk about a circumstance. Let's talk about a circumstances, and we'll bring it home. And then once we bring it home, we can conclude this lesson here. I know it's strong, and I know you guys have a lot of questions, comments, and concerns that I'll address them later. All right. So this is a older person. He has his parents. They are middle class. They're professional. It doesn't matter the race. Again, I say these are men. Doesn't matter where they are. We're not talking about the culture. We're not talking about other things. We're just keeping it very simple as we can. And he has a car, and he has retirement savings. So we're going to go into the introduction. Okay, our introduction. Let's talk about this guy. He's meeting this woman at a gym, and so here it is. In his reptilian brain, and his hormones only, does he find the woman sexy or lovely? And I'll explain in a second. You see the type of woman, you see another type of woman. In a man's brain, he's thinking mating. I want to mate with you. Now we branching off from just that hormone type of mating with you, there is a different type of structure of mating. There is a sexual, I want to mate with you, and then there's a sexual because I want to seal the deal to take care of you kind of deal. Okay, so there's always a sexual component to it, and so he's looking at both of them. A typical man will probably want to make love to either one of them, doesn't matter, but on the outskirt of it, when this woman, he sees this type of woman who has her hair up in a bun and she's just doing her thing, versus this woman has got her hair nice and she's probably got nice makeup and she's only sweating because it's hot in the gym and she's really not really doing any workout. I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies, if you look like the nice one here, he only wants you for sex first. But if you're looking like this, he wants to mate with you, but he really wants to get to know you. Why? It is no different than you ladies going to the grocery store and you don't have no makeup on and your hair is in a bun and you're looking presentable, but you're going to the grocery store to pick up some milk and some eggs for the breakfast, and you see a man that you're attracted to and he looks at you and says, "Could I have your number?" You're thinking, what the hell is he thinking? Because he's thinking primal. This is the woman that I'm going to be looking at every single day. And you're giving him an insight of what he's looking at every single day. Don't you know how valuable that is? Unlike if you go to the store and you're all makeup and you got your hair done and he looks at you, he's not going to give you 100% of him. He's trying to figure you out. What do you look like without all that makeup and the fake eyelashes and the extensions and so on and so forth? So one, he's just looking at sex. The other one, he's going to try to really get to know. And that's something I want you to know, that this is a reptilian hormonal level of a man. All right, let's go to the next one. Dating. Same thing. Date night. Now we're in the date night. Let's look at it in the same context. Which one is he sexy and which one he's lovely? Okay, now you can clearly see if a man looks at you and he's looking at hormones. Okay, what are the three he wants to mate with you? Okay, that's just sex. That's just sex. The other one is a different type of sex. It is, I want to be with you more. It's a more of a, I can take you home to mama kind of thing, and I find you very attractive kind of thing. So you have a mother to wife kind of position, and then you have a, I really want to make love to you kind of position. The other one is just take care of my needs. Then he might want to get to know you after the fact. Okay? That's something that we need to consider. So the key is the introductions to the family and friends, and then sex enough to be turned on. One is, if you look too sexy to a certain type of man, he's going to feel competitiveness. And so therefore he's going to have that I want to run from you stage in his brain because of the hormones. I want to run because now I'm competing against other men who's also looking at you in a lustful way. Okay, so that's something that we could consider there. All right, now men and weight. And we'll keep this very simple. I just put this here because again, we're thinking primal, the man in a primal nature. When it comes to primal nature, we have to understand his reptilian brain and hormone is thinking baby. Now, his primal nature is stories. In certain men's, mostly the white and white people line, they're thinking being skinny. In the stories in their mind through their friends and family, they said, well, the skinny woman has been having difficulties having babies. Yes, she has babies, but it's difficult. We need a woman who has a little bit more, so she's only having 1 or 2 babies. And the other type of woman is a little bigger, but that's okay to a primal kind of guy because he's thinking the breast is there for plenty of milk and the hips and all of that extra cushion is there for the comfort and the growth of the baby. Now, again, if you think it past primal, then I'm sorry to tell you, what do you think you're putting makeup on and some cologne and perfume and stuff on? You're trying to attract his primalness of him to mate with you. But in actuality, if you just leave him by himself with no makeup, no nothing, just leave it alone, he'll pick a bigger woman than a skinnier woman any day in every culture. Because in his primal thinking, he's thinking baby. The security of the future is the baby, and the woman is the one who's going to produce and mother the baby. And so therefore the bigger woman is more apt to than the skinny woman. This is why you have a lot of skinny women trying to get fake breasts. But that's a different social studies, and we'll get into that another day and time. All right, so that's the end of that. And so yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this, got some information out of this course, or this first show here. Please do let me know what you guys think and below. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to get with you. Now, keep in mind, this is just the primal side of how a man thinks. We'll get more and more into certain subjects in the detailing of it, and then we'll get into the lady-man relations. And again, I'm not trying to exclude anyone. I'm just trying to say, for the simplistic point of view of this, we're just keeping it in a man-woman point of view, okay? All right, so that's all I have. So thank you very much. And if you do, like I said, have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know down below. And if not, I will talk to you when I talk to you. This is Dr. Bagley. Again, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.